Hi, I'm MrByZ, and today we're going to take a look back at the Rancor, all the way back to, I think it's 84, that's when I got mine anyway. Back to the original from Kenner, all the way up to the modern counterparts to go with that. So hope you enjoy this retrospective of the Rancor. So while I'm setting up my Jabba's Palace, one of the things I thought I'd go through is the different Rancors. There are 4 different Rancors, as you can see here. And we can look at each one of these. Start, of course, with the vintage Rancor. This was one of my favorite toys growing up. I got this when I was 8 years old. The best part about it, of course, is the little lever in the back, which makes his mouth move. I used this to scare my dogs. He was used in a high school movie about Little Red Riding Hood. All sorts of stuff like that. He's got full articulation in the shoulders and just the standard swivel in the legs. You know, for a 1983 creature, he looks really good. The only problem was if you ever tried to put something down his mouth, because as you can see, you can try and fit things in there. There's no way to get it out once it's in there. Thank goodness I never did that. I always looked at it, I was like, well, there's no way to get it out, so there's no way I can do that. But I always loved this. It was one of my favorite things as a kid. I think I almost always had him out, between him and the AT-AT scaring the dogs, you know. One other piece of articulation he actually has wrist articulation, so you can put the Gamorrean in his hand and then turn his hand. I always kind of like saw him as kind of a monkey too, so you could hang him from things and that sort of stuff. Next up is the Power of the Force 2 Rancor. He has the kind of feel real skin, kind of like the Jurassic Park dinosaurs. It's not squishy, but it's rubbery in a way. Here you can see we have like the chain on his wrist. His mouth does not open and shut, nor is there a cavity to put anything in. His head will rotate a little bit. Well, I guess it does. I'm thinking something else. His wrists do go back and forth, as do the legs like before. He only has the swivel articulation in the shoulders, but he has a problem standing. He kind of leans over a little bit, unless you want to like try and bring him up to full height. You can work to balance him so he's like standing up, not looking down, that sort of thing. One of the coolest things about this, of course, is he came in the Deluxe Creatures assortment, which came with the Bantha, which is our first time getting a Bantha. You know, not much else on this. The face just never quite looked right to me. So, you know, he's kind of the lesser. Well, he does have the earring, too. I forgot about that. But the details on him are really nice. It's just, I wish the sculpt was just a little bit better. When Force Leash came out, we got this Rancor, which was an interesting choice. There's a lot of Rancors in the game, and he came with this dude... I think it's a Felucian, basically, who can sit on the sled on top of it. The sled does not stay on there very well. It just has a little notch there that hooks into there, but most of the time it's like tilted. He does have hooks that attach to the strings that he can hang onto that will go into his nose, which is kind of neat. But, you know, when you bought him, there was a couple things that you noticed. I thought, oh, maybe not. So, yeah, maybe not. Maybe there wasn't. For some reason, I thought when this came out, I was like, oh, they've got to do a regular Rancor. There were just pieces that looked similar. But I thought there was an earring on this. I guess not. The mouth does open and shut, so we get that feature back, but there's no cavity inside. He has a little bit better full range of the shoulders. We have a bicep joint as well now. It's still the wrist joint. The legs are just like before. And then he has these markings all over him because that's what you saw in the game. It kind of looks like it should be phosphorus paint or like it would glow in the dark or something, but I've never seen that he did glow in the dark. But, you know, when you saw it, he's huge. He's actually bigger, much, much bigger. We'll put him near next to the Power of the Force 2 Rancor. You can see he's much bigger, which was pretty darn cool. But... as most people said, well, we got this. We've got to get a Jabba's Rancor eventually, right? Oh, I'm actually now seeing he's got ankle articulation. I didn't notice that earlier. So finally, they took the Force Unleashed Rancor, redecoed him a little bit, and we got the Target exclusive Return of the Jedi Rancor. Not only was it a Target exclusive, later on this was released in a Black Series package of Jabba's Palace. You can see he actually has the earring here now. He has his little cuff. It's got a little chain on it, too. And the fingers are actually, one of them I thought it was, yeah. They're actually bendable. They're kind of like a bendum here. So that you can, you know, wrap them around Luke or Gamorrean Guard or whoever you want to feed to your Rancor. Same articulations, basically the same mold, just with a couple changes and a paint deco that is much more of a Return of the Jedi Rancor. He looks very, very cool. Definitely the best Rancor released to date. and I'm really glad that they were able to do this. Great figure. I thought this came with somebody. I don't remember the original one. It didn't come with a Rancor Keeper. It didn't come with Ula. I don't remember. It may have just been the Rancor by itself. But it was a Target exclusive to begin with, and then it was in the Black Series, that giant Jabba's Palace package later on. So that is my look back at the Rancor. I love this creature. I've loved my vintage one ever since I got it. And that latest one, of course I say latest one, it's like, what, 6, 7 years old now? But it is really well done. I love having the Rancor cave and everything now, so those are awesome. If you enjoyed this and want to check out other retrospectives and other reviews that I've done, you should subscribe to my channel. You can go ahead and check out all that stuff. Click here to subscribe. Check out other videos that I've got. If I missed something or something more you want to say, if you have a question, go ahead and leave it in the comments. I'd love to hear from you. And until next time, keep enjoying your collecting.